Welcome back, everyone, to Session 7 of Season 3 of Pandemonium. The group has just emerged victorious after being challenged by War Chieftain Anka of the Taish Reborn while they are at the diplomatic Gala of Ascenta. The group has joined with the newly crowned Baron Lesse Royce of Kata, seeking allies to retake the Baron's homeland from the giants of Taish. With that, they've been going through and putting their charm, their eyes, their ears, everything they can to learn more about these patrons that have come to the gala, those who command significant power, enough power to aid the Baron and potentially turn the tide of the war. And the group is using kind of all of their skills to see kind of what these people want and potentially bring them on the side of the Katan forces. With that, the group has gone through 3 rounds of the influence campaign, earning some early allies as well, convincing King Andreas of Acinta to lend his kingsmen to the battle, convincing the adepts of the Stormfist Monastery to join the fight, as well as going up against some of the forged monstrosities of Mokulin the Forgedman and defeating them in a tournament. Bring some of the Lightbringer Templars of Akari to help them reclaim the homeland in exchange for a church, kind of a magnificent quality built before any other structure is repaired. The group has earned these allies to the Katan efforts, as well as after the war chieftain Anka, the former ruler of Kata, joined the diplomatic summit. They were able to withstand his accusations that either the gavels or mockery or someone killed the Baron, the former Baron. And then with that withstand, was able to convince the crowd that the Baron or the war chieftain had lied. And in his anger, he challenged them to a duel. And the group was able to not only withstand his fury, they're able to defeat him, disarming the giant and taking him down. That's where we're going to pick up. So you all look around, you see kind of cheering crowds, the giant's body fallen blood kind of staining the marble tiles. You see people cheering through. You see the king of Acinta kind of wildly applauding, and he hollers out, "An omen for things to come! By Sandra's fury, they took that giant down, and we'll send the rest of those bastards back to their mother." And he looks at you all and he goes, "Speak, speak."
Oh boy! Last time I made a declaration that we would defeat the giants. I think I almost suddenly was talking about a different character. Will is going to step forward and gesture to the crowd, probably turning around as he talks, because like we're all surrounded by like the people, right? So he's like just sort of walking around and just looking in all directions as he speaks, and he says, "This certainly is, as I agree, an omen of what's to come. With people like us and soldiers like yours, victory is certain against the giant invaders. With this, we refute their accusations that we were somehow responsible for the death of the Baron, and we align ourselves with the new Baron, the one who is bound to retake Kata." I'm curious, Were these two that we just defeated the only representatives of the giants? Were there other, perhaps, like, I don't know, dignitaries or soldiers or something like that?
These are the only two that arrived at the gala.
Okay.
Was there somebody from Acarius? Is there a
Macarius both did bring them to the gala.
Okay, so we at least have somebody here who saw, like, who is on the giant side, who saw that he challenged us, and it wasn't just like, we didn't just assassinate this man while he was here. Somebody knows that he challenged us to a duel, and it wasn't just like he went over there and then he never came back.
Yeah, nobody's accused you guys of like red wedding him. Yeah, there's definitely enough witnesses on that side.
I do personally wonder what's the Giants' reactions to that would be, seeing one of their own fall like that in such a grand stand. I guess we might learn about that in the news later.
It's going to be how we have to do it.
Unless, could there possibly be a recall knowledge check to piece that together?
You're trying to kind of gauge what the Giants' reaction would be to one of their own fallen?
Yeah, in this kind of situation right here.
Oh. Fortunately, you hard to speculate. You know enough about the giant culture that they respect strength, they respect almost individualism, and kind of they're following both the Shaper gods like Hera, as well as kind of recently Y. But one of their own falling due to his own hubris in a situation, you're really not sure how the King Braca will take that. He's almost too new to the stage to see. Kind of predict how they react.
All good. Will be shown in time.
Perfect. Well, you guys give Will gives that speech to the crowd. You see that, especially the Thessians, mixed amongst the other dignitaries there are hooting, hollering. You see many of them kind of raising their glasses high, praising the storm gods, praising Kosir for this early sign of kind of providence. And you see as the king looks and goes, "Oh, you lot have done good. Surgeons, help them get cleaned up. Make sure they can find their finery again. And we will continue this all back in the ballroom as we conclude our summit. Good work, though." And they kind of lead you away with some of the kind of people coming through to patch you up. And you don't need to worry about kind of getting your HP and all that back for this day, but they're able to kind of get you healed, get you back into your clothes. And if the group has anything they want to discuss in between before kind of coming back into the gala itself.
Right, so for this last phase, I'll definitely be talking to Councilman Vian. We should have a majority of the group talking to the prefects. Would y'all prefer to have one more with Vian, or do y'all trust me to handle it and we can maximize our efforts to convince the prefects?
I'm okay either way.
I think perhaps you can talk to him, and I think you can do it. But and then maybe we'll assess later if we need to send somebody else to speak with them as well. But I think you'll be able to handle it. Maybe I'll make an appearance just to say, show that we're a group and all that, but not going to spend much time there. I think if we can get the prefects on our side, it would make a huge difference.
And just to clarify, too, you have to call your target out before.
Yes, then I'm focusing on the prefects.
All right, so we got Wisteria going after Councilman Vian, Jeet, the prefects. Dark, I think you said prefects too?
Prefects. I'll go after Groshan.
Crash, where are you leaning?
Probably the prefects. It's just the one thing that Kraus is going to be using not optimal skill for them.
I mean, same here.
But it's still pretty solid for because oh wait, no. The magic the people who study magic. Did we actually get them on site or did we just learn about them?
You just learned about them.
Oh shoot, yeah. Would it be alright if I focus them? Get a little bit of progress there?
This is the last round, I will say.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
I mean, we just need to succeed one check for them because they're a D4, or sorry, a quarter D10.
But the issue is
So
don't
you can go for it.
with your D10.
Yeah, but also it would be nice to have a backup with the checks we do want to perform, like in case, we do a classic nat 1 into a nat 1.
I am prepared. I am more than willing to be a diplomacy gun that you aim and fire wherever you need me. But I just my own thoughts. I think I would like to leave Wisteria to talk to the Grove City folks, and then I'll talk to the prefects. I do think maybe go talk to the I'm sorry, what were they called again? Let me go back to the
So if we don't have Crash backing up, do we have to go 3 for 3? Like me, Will, and Jeet all.
Oh, we still need 3? Okay, for some reason I thought we needed 2.
2. Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, in that case
I feel like the 3 of us can nab 2. The info we have.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We have hero points.
Yeah, in that case, I'll take Crash to. What were they called again? Sorry, memory's a bit fuzzy.
Yeah, you could reach out to. You said you wanted to go to the Heckin Academy people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Professor Lena?
Yeah.
So Crash will do that in order to at least grab us a quarter D10.
What happens if one of us, what if we get some, the prefects on our side in our first 2 rolls, and the third person, do they just choose whatever?
Third person, that's you're locked in that conversation, so it is.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay. I'd rather have the insurance than not.
Yeah.
Because I will say, you guys are right now at a die and a half that you brought in for them. You guys get 2.5K for each die that you bring in. So right now you guys are sitting at, between your bonus for getting the Giant King as well, about 5.5K. If you guys bring in both the councilmen as well as the prefects, that would earn you another 5K.
And I'm willing to go last on the prefects, just so if I have to be the one that's redundant, I'm completely okay with it. Let's try and lock them in.
Yeah, I'm all right with this plan. Sounds good to me.
And we do have the extra hero point because our last long rest was on the ship.
Right.
Gotcha.
And 3 rerolls.
You 2 hero points and 3 rerolls collectively.
Mm-hmm.
What could possibly go wrong?
Now's our chance to get that 7 nat 1s in a row.
Oh god. Do the rerolls count as a fortune effect, or are they just straight rerolls?
So they don't count as a fortune effect. We can only use 1 reroll per thing. So you couldn't use all 3 if somebody was just sucking and kept rolling 1s, you couldn't use it multiple times.
Could I use a hero point and then a reroll?
You can.
Cool.
All right. You guys are going a little risky, so it sounds like Will, Barrick, Jeet for the prefects, Wisteria soloing VN, and Crash going after the the Heckin Academy people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I thought you guys would try to back it up just to really make sure you get that 3K or that 3 die, but let's see how this rolls. As you all kind of get through your strategy, kind of refreshing up, clean off the blood, the grime of battle, and make your way back down to the ballroom, you see it is definitely more of a raucous affair. You hear the music playing lively, the Fessians indulging in their drink. Cheers to Kosir, cheers to Sanda, cheers to Hava, kind of ringing through the hall. Definitely more jovial atmosphere than kind of the stress or fear-laced environment after the war chieftain shown up. It seems the Fessians have shaken this off and kind of back into their aura of celebration, of hope as they are going through. You see kind of the partygoers scattered around, many dancing upon the floor, some still kind of enjoying the food, the wine, the beer, and just kind of giving into revelry. One thing you do see before you kind of go and make your own targets, you do see the doors open, the Great Hall once again, and you see in lockstep 6 men walking on either side of one individual. These men are Dragonborn. They wear black and silver and emerald colors, and they have the mark of the legions upon them. In the middle, you see a black Dragonborn, ornate robes, keen eyes, with missing his trademark staff, but still with his sly smile upon his face. You see Commander Arx of the Legions, walking in with flanked by his soldiers at either side, and even though they are unarmed and kind of wearing finery, you can clearly tell in this mock phalanx formation they walk around him. These men are clearly soldiers. You see he walks in, and after he enters, you do see the Baron Leslie Royce along with Belnu making their way in a beeline towards him.
Okay, I gotta say out of character firstly. Fuck yeah, Arx! Yippee! He's back!
What is he doing here? I'm very curious.
I'm just saying, if Terria did reach out to one empire, one world, one emperor, bringing Kata underneath that, they're only a bit of a hair's sail away. I say nothing else, though.
Well, you see them, they seem locked in conversation, but you also see the rest of the revelers going through. You see the prefects with Ezen, the fabled Songblade. He's got his lute and he's giving almost a performance through here. You see a bit of a frown from the King of Asinta as Ezen gets into his performance, because you see magic kind of flowing from the bard, kind of giving himself his own orchestral accompaniment, using his magical prowess as the wards fail to contain his own magical might, as he kind of just goes through and plays this concert. Though while the king may be slightly grumpy, the revelers are definitely kind of going in and just kind of feeling the energy that he's giving off. Roshin on the other side has finally abandoned his plate, and you see him almost enraptured, giving a kind of long-winded hunting tale to a group of eager kind of Fessian survivalists. You see him just eagerly kind of gesturing, his tail thumping as he goes through this a tale of a hunt long past. And you do see on the other side, you do see Vienne, Councilman Vienne, near the bar. And this time he actually has a drink and he is cheerfully enjoying it versus just staring at it wistfully as he did last time. You see the Venera has a smile upon his face, his tail kind of almost eagerly moving as he kind of gestures, not animatedly is probably the best word, to one of his fellow kind of Grove City citizens as he talks about something that you can't overhear, but definitely he seems excited to see. Who wants to go first?
I can go first. Would it be possible to make a recall knowledge check to see what information Wisteria might know about just the general history of Grove City, like that she might have learned before coming here? Or would that just need to be under this?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm going to get a +1 from my pocket library wand that I'm referencing, and then another +1 from the library on our ship. It's bonus. So +2 on whatever I rolled.
Perfect. Yeah, you've had a good chance to kind of study the Grove City lore, whether it be through your time in Mokulin or just in your time aboard the ship preparing. Grove City, and what particularly are you looking for about Grove City?
Maybe just the important historical events that have happened with the people there, both like dramatic things as well as like mundane, like, oh, this leader was elected recently to the council who's like the first member of this ancestry on the council, or just like stuff like that. I think she would be fascinated by just like random little trivia of the place.
Definitely. Well, you know a lot of the big. With Grove City, it was founded by, in truth, by Zexus, the god of the psyche, but it's almost spiritually founded by the Grove Party itself, those who fought against the Infernal Invasion. And it's split to honor all of the members of the Grove, particularly the six who ended the threat. They've kind of revere the two that became godlike or became gods, Rog, as well as Zexus. They also revere those who kind of continued the good fight. Edric, who became a hand of Thana. Ichabod, who gave his life and soul for the fight. Corin, who also gave his life and soul for the fight, as well as Flynn, who gave her soul but not her life during the final battles with the Infernal Lords. They have a very steep history in kind of honoring those people and divide their council into 6 sectors to kind of represent those heroes, along with their ASEA battalion, named after what the Grove called their MVP. With that as well, too, you kind of for tragic. And this isn't super, depending on the lifespan of your character, not super recent history, but about 3 centuries ago, Zexus, who founded the island, gave sentience to the beastmen who make up the island, the Venera, the Strix, and all of those. He abandoned the island, moving from calling the island his home and kind of seat of power, to trying to claim the astral planes as his own. And that's something that the citizens of Grove City have been struggling a little bit with, feeling that they're losing their powerful allies and that they are kind of a small fish in a big pond.
All right, so I'll approach and probably, after taking notes about what my allies did earlier, order another drink for him, and not directly call out what they did, but just kind of imply that, like, okay, here's a drink for you, whereas my allies might have taken this drink before, and say, I've read a lot about your city. I'm very impressed by the government there and the way that they've managed to represent the diversity in the founding members of Grove. We'll also figure out how to manage all these different types of people and species that live there. Mokulin, where I'm from, is somewhat diverse as well, and they certainly don't do a good job of making sure that everyone has a place. So I've been quite envious of what Grove City's been able to do.
You see Vien smile and nod. It is one of our favorite things. We welcome. For a long time we were secluded, with mostly just the beastmen making the island our home, but we are trying to welcome all, and not just all that have gold. I know that Mokulin really couldn't care what ancestry you are as long as you have gold in your pocket, but with us, we want to welcome any who could grace our shores and really to make our home better than it was before.
I definitely agree, and I think that there's things a lot more valuable than gold that the leadership in Mokulin fails to understand. I mean, that's something I've really come to see with my companions, that my friendship and allegiance with them is something that no amount of gold could truly earn. And I think that our victory against the war chief is evidence of that. And I'm sure that the founders of Grove City had similar thoughts.
You kind of see that it's often remarkable and sometimes intriguing. Kind of thinking of the founders, they've eclectic, and you can even see that from the way they've wound up with two of them ascending divinity and one becoming the right hand of Thana, the goddess, the elder goddess herself. It is remarkable that they were able to come together so well. But that's one of the things we do appreciate with Grove City, that the melding of things that don't seem like they always fit into something that's new and beautiful.
And part of this conversation is with Sarah, just kind of trying to butter him up, but also some of that definitely hits home for a lot of the way she's been feeling recently. But she'll say, yeah, and stopping an infernal invasion is quite the feat. We've had some trouble with Shinzo Z and know what it's like to have to face off against infernal power. So an entire invasion, that's so impressive.
You see, like, for just a second, his face darkens as you mention Shinzo, and he goes, I have heard of your trouble with Shinzo. Honestly, to tell you truthfully, I was going to avoid you a lot at this party. I heard that you were marked by Shinzo. One of you were a follower of him, or a devout follower of him. God is bad news. That's one of the great mysteries, is why the Grove spared him while they killed other infernal lords. But who can know the line of the founders? But as you lot today, and you kind of see him raise the glass, and kind of raise the glass he had, as well as take the offered glass. He goes, but you lot today, barring all that Shinzo nonsense, you put that giant bastard on his ass. Let him know that he cannot come here and intimidate us. You sent a strong message today. He holds both glasses. He goes, cheers to you.
Oh, thank you, and I'll raise a glass as well. Feels good to make a positive impact and to help the people of Fessia when they're in need of allies like this. We've been having some difficulties, and being able to join with Fessia, lend them our aid in the ways we're capable, and they're able to help us in other ways. Like, I don't know if you saw our ship, but it's thanks to some of the Baron's kindness that we've able to improve upon it. So, and we're grateful for that. And it just goes to show what allies willing to work together are capable of.
Definitely.
So, can we count on you to be allies in a similar sense?
Perfect. What's your approach and what tactic are you using?
I'm going to roll society, since I've been kind of referencing the history of Grove City and how kind of the politics of it interplay with the things that we've been kind of trying to be an example of here by allies helping out allies and all that.
Perfect. Give me a society roll.
I'm going to use a hero point on that. There we go.
Nice. You see, he smiles. He puts down one of his glasses, and you see him hold out his arm, and he goes, Grove City would be honored to fight alongside you here. Fortunately, we cannot spare a ton of our defenses. We are still trying to build an army that is formidable enough to match the great powers. But we will send our Asian Guard. They were named for one who stuck by the Grove throughout their times and travels. And many of the Grove said that they would not be here if not for her strength and clarity. And we hope that our guard will lend you that same resilience and strength to rely upon during your fight.
The Baron will be immensely grateful. And I understand there's a lot of pandemonium in the world right now, so ensuring your own defenses is important. But I assure you that this aid will not go unrewarded.
Perfect. And the only thing that I would mention here, part of what we wish to do with this alliance here, we want to demonstrate that Grove City is a power of its own, that it is an equal of the nations of Kazia. So please bring us victory, and that if you could, speak to your Baron about an alliance with Grove City. We would want to, once he reclaims his homeland, kind of give mutually assured backing. If anyone tries to take his land again, or if anybody attacks Grove City, both of us will raise our banners and go to war.
I think that seems a fair offering. I'll discuss that with him as soon as I get it, catch his ear.
Thank you. Perfect. You guys have earned another half D10, bumping you guys up to 2D10 and another 2.5K of gold coins that the crew has earned. With that, who's next?
Briefly, I want to say a couple things. Top tier roleplay, firstly. Secondly, the Ocean Guard warmed my heart genuinely.
Absolutely, it did.
I put a hand on my chest when I heard that over my heart, just like, damn, truly the MVP.
For the people who were in campaign one, Asia was an NPC. I think Edric charmed her into joining with the crew. And like for the longest time, she was underleveled. Shouldn't have been contributing much. But like no matter who was rolling for her, she just got crits. Like just crit, and like ridiculous damage. Like there's at least 2, maybe 3 fights where she was the only one standing that eventually got the crew to win. She died very near the end, but still.
She preceded my PC. Like when I joined, I was like, "Oh, this is yeah." She was Love that.
She got the party called her the MVP.
Our party can have that right there. Ryan, you're muted.
Oh, I think he's talking to
Damn,
someone else in the room. I'll go talk to the prefects next.
Perfect. You see Ezen kind of in the midst of a magical concert, kind of flouting the wards that defend the keep. You see Groshin just animatedly telling a tale of a hunt that he's gone on in the past.
I'll join the crowd listening to Groshin.
Groshin, you see he is gesturing. He is talking about his time within one of the exalted sanctuaries of Hura, and how he hunted this enormous T-Rex-like beast. Like this was no ordinary T-Rex. He's fought those before, but this is one that was twice the size and almost endowed with some of Hura's and Tupa's own magic. He's going to kind of animated going through how he tracked the beast for weeks, and then like kind of had fights scattered throughout those weeks where they'd encounter each other, and then one would get away, and he's just kind of lost in his story. Belric, how do you approach?
Well, first off, when you say the Exalted Sanctuary, is that like the one in Aurea Forest, or is that like one of the many across Kazia?
So they are actually all called Exalted Sanctuaries, but he was definitely talking about the one in Aurea.
Okay.
The big one.
I guess I would speak up in the crowd, and I would just kind of like raise my glass and give him a wink because we had a conversation prior to our fight that he probably watched. I'll say, "Cheers. Which Exalted Sanctuary was this, Groshin?"
You see, he smiles. Well, he smiles. Almost has a little bit of sadness in the smile. He goes, "Oh, this was back when I was able to make my way to Oria. The best forest, the cleanest air. If you ever get a chance to go there and get a chance to hunt on its holy grounds, cherish it. Don't let it go to waste.
I'll turn to Bear and I'll be like, there's some great creatures in the forest here of Fessia, and there's some exalted sanctuaries. Are the forests down there really that more lush and full than the ones up here?
Oh, here you can still smell the human, the man, the kind of sentient creatures around. Those you could smell. Even when you get to the forest, you could still smell the taint of cities, the taint of civilization. Oria, it's pure wild, it's pure heroes' gifts. Trees that you've never seen, exotic plants. Hell, some of the plants are better hunting than the animals here. Good, put up a good fight as well, depending on which you come across. You kind of see him raise up like kind of his shoulder, kind of like the shirt is showing off a bit of his shoulder. And you see kind of a wicked scar across the scales. Fought a tree, broke my arm, nearly killed me. Best hunt of my life.
What a badass. Oh shit, that was muted, sorry.
The glories of the prefects are just as great as I heard in stories of you, Groshen. And I'll raise my glass and I'll say, cheers to Hera in a more lush forest.
And you see like, you almost see like a sadness, kind of a hint of sadness, and he goes, cheers to Hera. May you make your way to the exalted grounds of Oria, and maybe one day I'll be welcomed back as well.
Welcome back. Can I'll literally say that, like, welcome back. Like, is this? I don't know if this is something I should know, but I feel.
No, yeah, it's not come up yet. You see, like his tail kind of flattens a little bit, and he goes, "Hera wasn't fond of me working with a scion of Corinius, working with Moklin and those who taint the environment. Out of her love for me, she did not banish me from her use of her powers, but she said that I can no longer set foot on the Oria Forest."
I would imagine. I wonder if one step, like, you can see the damage that these giants are doing, knocking down the forest, cutting down the trees of Fessia. I'm wondering if you would be just like, if you would be. I can't think of the best word, but if she would appreciate the fact that you are going against the giants and keeping nature here in Fessia.
All right, give me what tactic are you rolling? What skill are you going with?
I mean, I was hoping to go with the nature check, but I think whatever you think would be best of that would, whatever you think would be appropriate based off of that.
Okay, give me a nature roll. Nice. You see, he looks and he goes, "It would be nice to receive the goddess's favor again. I know the giants also call Hera one of their own, but maybe this could be some way to at least earn her eyesight upon me. If she watches you, watches us, watches the giants, at least maybe she can see that I still hunt, still fight, and still hold true to most of her edicts."
I There's
You,
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. No, go for it.
I was gonna say there's two exalted sanctuaries here in Fessia now between Ascenta and Alamnon, and with our work, we may be able to spread more.
You see, he gives like a big kind of fangy smile to that. His tail kind of thumping to the ground, and with that too, you hear him bellow out, "Ezen, come over here! Stop that endless playing! They get the song. Come!" And you kind of see both Groshin takes a step away from you, and then speaks to Ezen, and you see kind of Groshin animatedly gesturing, and then you see Ezen kind of nodding along with that too, and you see that they both kind of come to a decision and look at the three, kind of Belric, Jeet, and Will, kind of speaking with them, and you see Ezen goes, "Well, I guess it is decided. Groshin was moved by the plea, and I've been moved by other arguments as well, and I guess we will lend our aid to your battle. The prefect, us two prefects, will join you in your fight to retake Kata. We will aid you in the battle. We will lend our skills, our magic, our spears, blades, everything, all of us, to helping you retake the island. We do," and it kind of looks, you can see him like discreetly look over to the divine executive officer. "Unfortunately, we probably will have a few provisions there, just things we'll have to keep an eye out for. The biggest one is we are, without the full prefects agreeing, one of our cardinal rules is we are not allowed to assassinate political leaders or kill them on the battlefield. It came up," and you kind of see him looking at Groshin. "It came up a time or two before, and we had to make a group rule with that. So with the two of us, we'll be happy. We're pretty much a battalion of our own. We'll help you fight the good fight. But if they do bring someone in to replace War Chief Tanaka, we'll bring in new generals. Unfortunately, we will have to abstain from taking them with our own hand."
I have to stop giggling from it. A time or two. We had to make a rule about it. Oh my goodness.
I would say I'll turn to Grosh and I'll say, if you get him weak, I can lay the finishing blows, and I'll cheers to him and say, "Aye to Hira and the hunt."
You see Groshin kind of cheers and goes, "To Hira and the hunt." And Ezen kind of smiles and goes, "Well, we're looking forward to joining with you all here." And he goes, "Outside of this, we will fight our hardest. But we're also going to take some time to honor our God, as well as take it easy. As well, and you hear Groshin kind of go, "We're going to drink and party with Kosira as well during this too, so you're welcome to join if you're not busy, but we'll be on the battlefield when you need us." And you guys have earned the prefects another D10 onto your side. Will G, do you guys have anything to add before we shift the scene?
It's no longer an argument, but I will just talk about how Tesh is the mother of monsters, and we fought a few monsters, and so Groshin should look forward to some monster hunts in this war.
You see Groshin nods and he goes, "I hear they have a kraken. I've never got to hunt the kraken. I'd like to."
Can't recommend it.
Yeah. Can I remove morale from myself on hearing that?
I didn't. I missed the fact that was a crit.
Oh,
So
That
I was
crit.
like, I was still getting ready to do my last argument.
Oh, I was about to ask you. I was like, didn't we need 3? I didn't know. Yeah.
No, you see two.
Okay.
Yeah. You see-
Oh, nice.
Oh wait, doesn't that mean Bella got both covered?
Yeah, Bo got both covered on that one because nature was one of their second lowest DCs.
Hell yeah!
And with the tactic and the actually even without the lower due to the giant king killing the war chieftain, that would be enough to crit.
Nice, man. Nice. I did. Like I said, I didn't catch that. I was like, wait a minute. What? We got them already? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I was wondering
Didn't
about
we
that
need one
too.
more? Hold on.
Yeah,
I want
that's
to
great.
point out how much Belric vibes with people who hunt. Oh, I got it. Be right back.
And drink, you know.
There you go. Hey.
Perfect. You guys bring on the prefects to your side. Crash. You see Professor Alina kind of like once again like not hiding out, but kind of secluding herself from kind of the raucous celebrations of the Thessians. You see that she is at least put her book away this time, but she is kind of holding off on her own side, kind of amongst the festivities. She has a kind of a small glass of wine that she seems to be sipping on. It almost seems to be observing kind of the festivities. How do you approach?
Is he back? I thought he was
Where
away.
do you go?
I think he might
Yeah, I
have.
think he
There
had
was a
to.
sound in the background, and he said he had to run off real quick.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll come back to that stage. Yeah, you all look around. This is reaching to kind of a full Fessian kind of celebration on the side. People are cheering. You see, like, you could smell the hops in the air with how many people are pouring out Fessian pale ales. You see red wine flowing, just toast after toast going through, especially those who have pledged themselves, their soldiers, their resources to aid in the fight. But one thing that does, as kind of the celebration wears down, you realize you kind of lost track of Commander Arx along with the Baron and Velnu. But you do see Procles comes up to you all and he goes, my friends, can I speak with you for a moment? Just a little away from the festivities. Do you have a moment for you, I should say?
Certainly. Is everything all right?
Yes. Good, I believe. I'll tell you more as we get a little away from prying ears. And he kind of leads you towards kind of away from the big ballroom to kind of one of the stock rooms not too far away. And then once the door is closed, he goes, I know I recruited you in Ateria. I didn't know you had a bit of a checkered past with the politics there, but I know you're familiar with General Thrax and his commander, I believe, as well. Is that a fair statement?
Correct. To be quite honest with you, I consider General Thrax's aide a good friend.
That is good to hear. Well, I know you consider her a friend. It can be hard to judge friends. I'll spill the beans with you all. They have offered us 2 battalions worth of Atarian soldiers to join our effort to retake Kata. They've also offered an alliance between Kata and Ateria once the civil war has been concluded. But the alliance would be not just mutual defense, but mutual. When they declare war, we would declare war alongside them. The Baron seems pretty taken with the idea, but I don't like making deals when I don't know the layout of the land. And with you all, we've spent so much time in Ateria, I wanted to get your opinion.
That is interesting. Certainly seems like first of all, I can just definitely vouch for the power of the soldiers. Who else is here with me, by the way? Did everybody come, or is it just?
I think everybody came, yeah.
All right. I can certainly vouch for the power of the Thrax's soldiers. I would add one word of caution when working with Eteria. They do have a philosophy that I'm not sure how publicly they state this on the international stage, but they are interested in essentially controlling the entirety of the world. Now, like I said, they could be a powerful ally in this war. Just perhaps keep an eye out, because you don't want to, I mean, who knows, maybe you do, but I suspect you don't want to become a vassal of Eteria.
Do you think General Thrax, after allying with us, would turn his soldiers against us?
No. Thrax would not. Thrax is too honorable to go up to renege on his word. One world, one empire is the proud ambition of Eteria. But with the Emperor gone, Eteria itself is no longer one. So I would say they have a long while to go before they can even talk about one Eteria, let alone one world. Thrax is honorable. He fights well. He trains his soldiers well. An alliance would be most beneficial to Cotton efforts. The only thing I am wondering is he doing so well in the Civil War that he can afford to promise these legions? What has he asked in return?
You see, Peracles is not. I have that concern as well. His only demand was that if he sends these 2 battalions, he's willing to put them on the boats as soon as Arx returns, and is that we are now allies. When he raises his banners, we raise our banners. He has committed that he would force us to take no side because he thought it would be dishonorable for an outsider to spill Etarian blood. But he said once the Empire was made whole, if he went to war, we would need to join him.
That is certainly a huge commitment, far beyond a simple rumor monger like myself to weigh in on, really. But truthfully, it sounds like a good deal in my opinion. Just be cautious when it comes to, pledging yourself to these kinds of things. I know personally that sometimes when you agree to a contract, they can backfire on you in ways you didn't expect.
What was the Baron's reaction to this news, besides grinding his teeth?
Yeah, he actually looked happy, surprisingly. 2 additional battalions, additional support, and a strong ally for Kata once the war's finished. And you guys see he kind of leans in and whispers, you all know that the Baron is not happy with, outside of his brother-in-law and Acinta, he was not happy with the other Fessian lords. He felt that they turned his back on him in his people's time of need, and allowed his homeland to be ransacked. He wants new allies, and he thinks he sees one here, especially with Belnu prattling on about how this combining both of his clients into one will be a deal that cannot be beat.
Initially, Jeet's chest puffs up when he hears about the Baron being very happy with the Etarian soldiers. He's like, yes, you should be.
I came back to this. Holy shit, this is a fantastic. We got okay. So from Grove City, their whole deal is like, okay, guaranteed independence with a defensive alliance. Okay, that's pretty solid. Fucking Thrax with a military alliance and being like, okay, send none of your men to deal with what we're dealing over here. I'll deal with that. But after you go to war, we go to war. We go to war, you go to war. God damn.
This is very much
Are we in good favor with Rax and Valnu? Or yeah.
Kind of iffy.
I say we're in good favor with Arcs, but I think officially we are not in good favor with
Valnu.
the 13th Legion.
True.
You guys have made good deals with Thrax and Arcs, but you also screwed them over a couple times as well.
Yeah.
Somehow
think-
made even, but now we have history of both sides. But I
Yeah.
want to bring up,
I think we need to start our redemption arc, Thrax.
Yeah, that's what I would say is like if we're behind this alliance, then we need to make it advantageous to us because we've got Codinia against us already, and we're flaunting around a blue scale dragon ship around the sea. So I'm just our list of enemies continues to grow and grow. So
I will also say that this is very much within us following our edicts, which is to make connections between diverse folks.
Okay. Yeah.
I back a little bit to one world, one empire, one emperor.
Yeah, I know. That's with your edict too, there, bud. No. I don't think Balric would really speak up too much here. Like he would just kind of go with the flow.
I gotta point out, it really is more than just like Thrax Redemption arc. Gavels are pulling it back together. Ironically, whenever the devil on their shoulder just left.
If you're asking seriously, though, Tegan, yeah, I think there has been change in Jeet's philosophy. Not to the point where he's given up on one world, one empire, but to the point where he, like as he said, he doesn't think that's feasible enough right now to worry about it. Like let's worry about it later when Eteria is united. Not today's problem.
And I'm assuming that Jeet's vision of one world, one empire is one that's underneath the Emperor, whose soul is still scattered across the realm. So we just solved that problem yet. And Wisteria is probably thinking that should we succeed in that quest to get the Emperor back, we've had since session 1 and it's 45 sessions in and we still haven't made too much progress on that. But the that seems like that would make that agreement null and void anyway if the general is no longer in charge. But who knows if that's how things are going to turn out or not.
Yeah. I would say we just did a lot of damage to the other team and we recruited some folks on behalf of Perocles. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't speak up here, so I'm not gonna.
I guess we have to bring up if Eteria controls Codinia, we'll no longer be banned from Codinia. And if Thrax controls Eteria, we won't be banned from Eteria anymore.
Here's my thought, and I'll say this out loud to Perocles as well. If Thrax wants an allegiance that requires joint offense, he clearly intends on attacking somebody after uniting Eteria. So the only question is who? Is he going to try to invade Codinia? I know with that new weapon they unveiled, they're definitely quite the threat. But I think the question the Baron needs to answer is, should he succeed in retaking Kata, is he prepared to do another war on foreign soil? Rather than being able to focus his efforts on his rebuilding his home?
I like it.
Proclus, now that is a fair question. It sounds like, if I had to wager, that you all are in favor of it, but would proceed with caution. Do I have the right of it?
No, I would say proceed with enthusiasm, but I may be biased on this.
Duly noted. I will say that with Velnu's overly happy about it, and sometimes seeing that man happy just, you know.
Relatable.
And he goes, well, okay, well, I will go back to the... Well, actually, would you like to speak with Arx? I'll bring you back in as we make our call.
I wouldn't mind, yes.
And maybe we can get some information about how the Civil War has been faring since we left.
You see he kind of leads you through kind of back through the ballroom and then through the ballroom into this almost kind of stately receiving room. You see sitting kind of across from each other, across this big kind of like mahogany table. You see on one side the Baron Laissez Royce alongside him, standing next to him, Velnu. And Velnu's kind of standing almost in the center, or on the edge of the table in the center, but kind of almost equal distance between Commander Arx and the Baron. And you kind of see him speaking with a cheery smile upon his face. And as the Baron kind of looks at you all coming in, he goes, "Didn't get a chance to say it after the battle. Well fought. I believe you're already acquainted with the commander." And you see Commander Arx looks up and he goes, "Well, Gavels of Asara, it is surprisingly good to see you. I did not think I would say that without sarcasm. There still probably is a trace there. You'd have to forgive me for that."
Commander Arx, it is good to meet someone back from the homeland.
Oh. You're missing interesting times back at home. What do they always say? May your enemies be born in interesting times, but it keeps time moving, as Tempest would say. But we've come and with your new Baron that you've pledged to, we've got quite the deal, as General Thrax believes. And I think we're close to signing it. Yo, for old time's sake, are you all here to throw a wrench in this too now? Are you going to call the Baron a Shinzo follower and throw a table? Where's Mockery? I want to make sure that I'm caught up for your shenanigans.
Our dearest wrench thrower is presently indisposed and not currently part of the Gavels. I believe we come with near unanimous approval of this alliance. Thrax is honorable, and now he's talking to both Arx and the Baron, and he takes a grander view of the world. He's not just laser focused on the politics of Ateria. In fact, Thrax also had lent his aid, from what he had heard, to the First Flames mission in Ada. And then he turns to Arx and says, "Do you have any word from that mission?"
I do. We've wished the First Flame was with us during the war effort, but he is making great progress in Ada. He's claimed a bulkhead upon the soil to make his war camp. He's recently acquired some undead soothsayer that's speaking of rebirthing chambers, and it was a weird report. I must admit I'm paraphrasing a bit, but potentially good news on finding a way to kill, or how do you phrase it, kill the undead, destroy, I don't know the proper term to use, but to eliminate the undead.
Cleanse is my preferred term, cleanse.
I like it. It seems like something that would go well in one of our soothsayer reports. So to cleanse the undead from Ada. But it is going well. The First Flame and Nar are coordinating themselves very, very well in their fight to retake it.
At the mention of killing the undead, Will sort of like perks up like a dog, like ear, like his ears, and then like looks annoyed at himself for doing that.
Crash is actually going to take a step forward and nod at Arx and goes, "I am a mercenary. I am known as Crash. of the Sons of Silas Corporation, and I'm currently aligned with the Gavels of Ivasera. I
Oh,
like you and who you fight for. I love the fact you're clearing out Ada of those wretched things. And I like General Thrax. I'm not one for politics, truly. Ironic being here, but Thrax doesn't pretend to be anyone else but himself. A soldier. He makes sure those nobles and petty arguing politicians understand that too. So I'm glad to see that the Gavels and you are friends.
uh, friends, enemies, frenemies. That's all. It depends upon the day. With mockery and disposed, but no longer. Now, gee, that is almost a little bit of a contradiction. He's indisposed, but he's also no longer representing the Gavels. So, would I find him on your boat, or is he just no longer with the group?
He is no longer working with us.
For now.
For now. Ooh.
Just for old time's sake, I might decide to come and mess things up for you just to make sure it gets done. You know, we got to keep up.
It would to keep the balance of what I'm used to with you all. But I'm glad to hear that you all are willing to lend your weight to General Thrax and our cause. It is no, because you do have a talent for fighting. It is always nice to fight alongside you all, especially when you are far, far, far away from politics. But you see the Baron, you kind of see the Baron goes, all right. You see him look to Perocles. Perocles gives a nod. Velnu gives a very smiley nod. And he goes, we will sign this treaty. We will take your 2 battalions. We will use them to retake Kata. And then once the Atarian Civil War is ended, if you come out as the winner or if the Emperor is restored, Kata will be your ally from here till time ends. And then you see him go through and he signs this agreement. And Beldu just has like this. Beldu looks like somebody that earned some money today. He has a very big grin upon his face as he looks through this. You hear him go, good, my friends. I sell arms to both of you through Velnu Corps. Now I can. This is synergy. This is synergy at work. We are synergizing. We are going to go through and I know you are profit people, but there'll be a lot of profit. There'll be homelands retaken. Homelands retaken on both sides. Yeah, that works for both you guys. This will be good for all of us.
Yes, I'm sure it'll be very nice. I'm like ushering Velnu away from this conversation.
Crash actually goes towards Felny like, homelands retaken, that could be a great slogan. And starts talking, doing the corpo talk, with Felny off to the side. Have to distract him half because that Crash actually likes talking about that kind of stuff.
I almost cast a command on Velnu to like make him leave when he said the word synergy.
He's a divine director. He's for the god of commerce. But yeah, you see the Baron signs this through, and Arcs kind of gives a very, very shallow bow, but kind of a bow, still a bow of respect. And you see Arcs begins to stand, and he goes, well, as much as I'd love to indulge myself with the Festian celebrations, and courtesy to you, Velnu, for allowing us to use Mokulin Bank's teleportation circles, I must make my way back to the war camps. Before I go, do you have any word for Thrax or anything that I should let our great general know?
Oh, wow. Tell him that we hope things, that the next time we meet, it's on better terms.
You see Arx gives a sly smile and he goes, well, the war's going well. I'll let him know that we've got a Terran sieged on both sides, with the loyalist, with the imperialist on one side, and then the legions on the other. Once the Terran falls, we'll have to. And Agni G, please take no offense. Deal with the imperialists and put them back in their place. But Thrax believes it can be done with limited to no bloodshed. But that is a story for another time.
If you can do me the favor of sparing the ones that are dear to me. No offense taken.
Oh, yeah, your mother, I don't see her on the battlefield, and we won't. Unless she does something terribly foolish, she won't meet our blades. And then Thrax believes he has Prince Ataz's number. But only the gods know what is next.
Truly, well and truly, I tell you, and I ask you to tell Thrax, go with Nara's blessing.
You see, he smiles and goes, well, Gavos, honestly, I could say this once again, twice in one day without sarcasm with you lot. It was good to see you all. May your time in Fessia be better than your time in Eteria. And with that, I take my leave. You see him kind of move out of the room, and then becomes flanked by his Dragonborn guards, and you see them kind of start to head out of the ballroom. You see, as he goes, the Baron looks over at you guys and goes, how the rest of... Oh, actually, before we cut over to that, Crash, how do you approach Professor Alina?
Oh yeah, we had to do that. Oh, okay. So Crash eventually would find his way away from Velnu after, the both of them passing along buzzwords like synergy, increased productivity, cooperation, so on and so forth. And he would approach kind of how he did before, kind of as a mercenary, walking along, goes up, sits down, looks at her, and would briefly wait, if she's still reading, briefly wait for her to finish whatever page she was on.
She's not reading this time. You see, she has a small glass of wine next to her, and she's kind of almost still within the ballroom, still within the festivities, but she's sitting kind of pretty much as far away from the festivities as you can be while still being in the same room. It seems to be kind of almost people watching while sipping on her wine.
Pleasure to see you again. Now, let us speak a bit more of alliances and businesses. You need money, and you need... What was it else you wanted?
Oh, we do need a donation to continue our magical research. A decent sum. And if the Baron can spare, we'd be happy to send some of our arcane warriors to assist with his efforts. But we know times are tight and all of that. But it's just been. You kind of see like she pauses for a moment and takes a sip for a while. We know the Baron has other considerations, and.
Oh, but if the Baron did make a promise, he would fulfill it. He would give you the money you seek, as well as whatever else was accepted upon agreement of the Alliance. He is an honorable man, after all.
Oh, we know. The Baron studied with us for some time at the University of Haka. His magic was very... The time and attention he put into it, impressive. He still preferred his spear more than the magic that he could cast, but he became a very powerful spell sword, so still a decent representative of what we can accomplish.
Of course, and Well, this is more speculation on the future. I simply like the idea of your schools being placed in Kata. Some representatives or teachers of sort. If you've taught the Baron and the people, perhaps could pick up some of your magics. Or the very least could help fund it. Not to mention the wildlife here likely has some more than mundane effects that could be used for your research. Speculations aside of what the future might hold, I think you would enjoy aligning here. Ask for the gold and it shall be paid.
Crash, what's Crash's philosophy as he goes through? What skills he going in with?
So he's bringing up, sorry if it's not very clear, but he's trying to bring up Kata itself, the Baron and the nobility, the people, and the general society.
All right, give me a society check.
I am going to be using a hero point.
Well, we have 3 rerolls, and I think this is the last roll of
Oh
the
yeah.
negotiation.
Let me use that reroll then. Much better.
Perfect. And lucky she didn't have society on her list, but luckily with the winning of the tournament, that brings it down a bit. And you do see she nods and goes, I guess that could kind of boost, if not enrollment, at least donations from the nobility. We often train a number of their children. They always say that each ruler should have some understanding of magic. But if we could show what our arcane warriors can do in a fight to retake Kata, they may encourage more to send their children to us, or may send at least the donations to help us continue our research. If you can, and we've already sent the sum to your Baron, but if you can get him to confirm it, we would be happy to send our arcane warriors. And as I said, name the library after him, or name it after. Actually, he's allowed to choose what the name it should bear, but we would give him that honor.
And Crash would nod and give a simple thank you for your time. I shall deliver this message. And go off. And I gotta say, going from, alright, near max charisma to 0 charisma character trying to figure out how the fuck does he convince anything? Goodness,
Perfect. Yeah, and as I said, there were definitely some like diplomacy, intimidation ones, but a lot of these skills were not diplomacy, intimidation. There's a lot of cool. There's a lot of different variants. You guys saw what you guys went through too with the rounds. Definitely made to give everybody a chance to be able to find some skill to be able to use. But with that, though, you are able to earn the arcane warriors to the Baron's kind of assembled forces of Kata. Bring it in. So you guys have now earned 3 1/4. Kind of worth of a battalion to kind of aid in the fight to retake Kata, along with separately the Baron agreeing to a allegiance with the Etarian government, bringing in another 2d10 worth of strength to the fight. You as kind of near the end of the night, you do see the Baron Pericles kind of pull you all aside, and he kind of gives you a look and goes, "How do the rest of your negotiations fare? Are there any other allies we can name to our cause?"
the Academy, for one.
What's that?
Sorry, I realize I leaned towards where my mic usually is. I put it on the opposite side of my desk today. The Academy, for one.
Perfect.
Belric, do you want to give the news of the other?
Yes, we've got Groshin and the prefects to help us as well.
Groshin and Ezen, right?
Roshan and Ezen of the prefects. Yes.
You see the Baron smiles at this, like a true smile crosses his face, and you actually see him kind of like a smile and a sense of relief kind of flood off of him, and he goes, "That is a good find. I'm glad that you brought the prefects. That'll not only be good for the strength upon the battlefield. What I have seen, none can match them in our forces. But knowing for the men that 2 of the prefects fight along their side, that'll be great for morale. You have my thanks with this."
And then I would turn to Wisteria.
Councilman Vian of the Grove City has agreed to send the Athenian Guard. However, he does require a defense pact between Kata and Grove City. Should we be successful?
You see the Baron pauses for a moment. You see Broccoli's thing. He goes, 2 defense packs in one day. That could be dangerous. We'd have to defend Ataria if they're attacked, defend Grove City if they're attacked. What was your measure, VN? What did you think of the man?
He seems to care deeply for his home and understands that without allies, Grove City, like any other nation, will eventually fall. Not unlike the situation you're in right now. So I think that I saw a lot of you in him.
You see the Baron nods and he goes, so be it. We need allies. We need allies that are willing to shed blood and send men. If they're attacked, we'll raise our banners. If we're attacked, I expect to see them. I'd rather have people that will, even if they're small, willing to shed blood on the battlefield rather than laugh behind their cups when I need help. We will sign the defense treaty. And Crash, are you bringing up this the donation piece?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he would. He would basically give everything there.
You kind of see Pericles kind of leans in and kind of says, this could be a sizable sum of our gold reserve. Money that we could spending on men or spending on potions, armaments. Do we think having those arcane warriors will turn the tide more than the gold will filling our coffers?
Very likely. This morning we did have a bit of a bout against a group of arcane warriors. Not from them, but just in general. Magic tends to change the tide of the battlefield, and if they're worth anything, they will change the tide here.
You see the Baron nods and goes, I spent a few years at the University of Akka. That's where I learned how to kind of mix my spear thrust with the lightning and Sanda. Having some of the warriors that can know that technique or even just know the magic will be a good effort. We'll pay for it. I don't give a damn what you name the library. Hell, you lot the library. I need, there's enough things that bear my family's name already. Did you see he looks through and he kind of like goes through, you see him kind of taking stock of the night between the 3D10 that you guys were, 3D10 plus a quarter that you guys are able to bring in, plus the 2D from the kind of the Eterian forces that are supporting you all. You guys are now at 11 and 3/4 D10. Uh, with that as well, you do see Velnu kind of pipe in, and he goes, "Oh, and just we did get one other additional ally. We working with alongside the Adamantium Renegades spent some time wooing them, and we were able to bring in the Myrmidons, their public offensive. We gathered and all spent pretty much spent the whole night talking about different battles and glories, and was able to convince their general that defying the Chancellor isn't always that bad if you can get results."
How many battalions is that?
That's a 1d10. So that can put you guys up to 12 and 3/4 d10.
Minus, isn't there? Did we let them know about War Chief Anka?
And that puts you guys up against 13d10 for the Taish forces. 2d10 from those, the Arcarius Navy. 12d10, the Giant forces, but they also have a minus 1d10 for War Chief Tanaka's death.
Oh.
You see the Baron kind of smile, and he goes, "Today's been a good day. We've got allies. We've got resources. We're equipped to stand against these monsters. Go, celebrate, lift a cup if that is what you will. Enjoy the comfort, enjoy the atmosphere. Give a prayer to Kosir, because soon we go to war. Soon we reclaim Kata. And this may be the last chance for celebration." With that, you see him kind of raise his cup, and then he departs along with Pericles and Velnu, leaving the Gavels in the room on their own. Gavels, you've got the rest of the day. You can celebrate, you can turn in, eat food. You see many of the attendees, a lot of the power players have mostly either left or those have already been convinced, are celebrating, kind of draining their own cups, dancing, just kind of letting loose. You guys are able to join in the celebrations, crash, whatever you all want to do. What does the Gavels do with the rest of their day?
Celebrate with Kavit. That's what G is thinking. And I'm sure it wouldn't take too much to convince Belric to join.
Absolutely. I would be joining in the celebration. I would, if Groshin's still around, I would try to continue to hear about his tales that he's just kind of telling, but just the revelry around that. But then outside of that, yeah, absolutely. Hanging with Jeet, and that's the giant from...
It is. The Adamantium Renegades.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I think there was a druid over there that I may have battled with a couple times, a girl druid.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if we're hanging with them, then that's who I would kind of just mingle with, and along with Cheat.
Yeah, you guys once you make your way back out to the ballroom, you see Cavip is double fisting 2 mugs of ale. He's got his ring on right now, so he's tall but normal size. And you see he has a big smile. The Adamantium Renegades are kind of huddled close together. They're excitedly exchanging stories. You see Lyra kind of sitting on the far end, the druid for their party. You guys are definitely able to kind of meet up with them. And you see Cavip kind of goes, "Gee, I saw you wrestle another giant. Well, not really. And you stuck his weapon. It was fun seeing it for someone else."
Yeah. I don't have a good comeback. Yeah.
Sorry, this is kind of an an aside, but do we still think that they tampered with some stuff? I guess what I'm wondering is maybe I could get some drunken get this person drunk enough to figure out if.
Oh, are you guys trying to see if they know about the Baron's death?
That's what I was trying to get to. Maybe. I
we
mean,
gotta clean up their mess for them, so.
yeah. Yeah, you're in good company, Kevin.
How do you go about that?
So what was the druid's name?
Alira.
Alira. Yeah, so I would come with like 2 full steins, and I would be like, these 2 are for you, Alira, and then I guess I would see how she reacts to that.
You see, she smiles and just takes one of them. And she goes, "Good to see you, Beric, and I'm glad that you and Bear felt well in that battle above. It's a good day for all. We've got allies, we've got gold. You know, we've got gold. It's been a very profitable day for all of us. You know, it's been a profitable day without having to kill anyone. That's always a good cheers."
I would cheers, and I would say, well, speak for yourself. We did take care of a war chief.
Oh, yeah, quite right.
But what we did behind closed doors kind of vouch for the Pandemonium Renegades and maybe some controversy that happened back during the rescue that we had in where did we? Sorry, where was it?
It was in the city of Gala.
Oh, it was in the city of Kata. Okay, yeah. So we did some covering for you guys, unbeknownst to you, potentially about during the rescue in Kata and what happened with the Baron. Anything you care to?
Why would you need to cover it for us? I mean, we did fail at our job. That rogue giant warrior did take the Baron's life, but we did all we could to protect him.
Is there any check I could do, or
you could definitely do a sense motive to see if you think she's lying on that.
Is someone not good at this? I'll still try.
Oh, you're actually probably really good at it.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Rangers have good perception, so.
Oh, yes. Perception. Why am I having trouble?
If you go to the basic action macros, it'll have it on there. If not, you can just click Control then Perception and roll it that way too.
Sorry.
That works. If you do the basic action macros, it's like in the 3rd column, 2nd up from the bottom.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. I'm going to share this with you. You nat 20 this. The weird thing with you looking, the way she said it, a few things stand out about her body language and the tone with which she said it. The first thing, from the way you're reading her, she 1,000% believes a rogue giant warrior killed the Baron. Weird thing about it, though, the tone, especially when she got to the bit about the rogue giant warrior, slightly hesitant, almost as like you see her looking back, trying to kind of pull the memory, and she's speaking almost as if it's a little hazy as she tries to kind of recall what happened. A little hazy, a little hesitant as she says it, but she completely believes that's what's happened. You don't see the way she says it. There's that hesitancy, that haziness, but no sense of lie, no sense of deceit. She seems very clear, and as you look to her too, as you say it, you see Kaba kind of that actually nodding along as well. You can see from his body language, he's completely on board that seems like what he thinks happened.
After like kind of realizing that, I would get a little bit more joyful, and I'd be like, but tonight is not for speaking of when we have bested you in the past and our great victory that we had in Kata. Tonight is for drinks, and then I'll kind of like cheers to Jeet, Kata, and this person, but certainly I would kind of at some point probably like a little, not like a little girl, no, yeah, like a little tattletale. Like I would go up to like Wisteria with this information and I would be like, Wisteria, something's weird happening here. Like I could sense that Aaliyah, like this is what I would get to Wisteria, but like I could sense that Aaliyah thinks that she's telling the truth, but something there is awry. I don't know if magic or deception was involved, but something weird had happened over there.
I've heard of magic that can tamper with memories. And maybe with like an Arcana check or something, I could. Now I kind of started going through all the people involved, and if she maybe knows who might have. Well, I guess they have like a wizard gnome on their group as well, I think.
Wizard gnome.
Or
Manu also is a divine caster.
Yeah, I'll mention to Belrock, like one of them might have used some sort of magic to even further cover their tracks.
At this point, I'm not sure it truly matters, but I at least wanted to pass along this information to you, as there's some sort of foul play or irregularities happening over there.
As much as I dislike the concept of eliminating memories, it is effective when truth needs to be hidden. And assuming that this was the Baron's plan all along, he probably helped arrange for that. The magic to occur so that the Adamantium Renegades could not share what we have figured out.
There's something happening, and they're lying to us. Whether it's the Baron or the Adamantium Renegades, I just think that's something that's important for us to be aware of as we kind of continue along this battle.
I agree. I'll keep an eye out and definitely let me know if you notice anything else like this.
I'm gonna run back with my beer and drink.
Perfect. Well, we know what Jeet and Belric are doing. Will Wisteria crash? How do you guys spend your night? Easy turn in or anything crazy?
Crash is actually gonna go back to Velnu and continue speaking to him. Fortunately or unfortunately, he doesn't quite have the history of bad blood with Velnu. Only the name of the gavel's tied to him. So he's gonna kind of figure out like why is all this what's all this faff about here? And he goes back to Velnu and goes, "Hail. Are you enjoying yourself? The festivities? The grand deal you just managed to sink for yourself?"
Oh, it has been a good day. It has been a good day. Praise be to Corinius. It's been a profitable day, and what better day could be a day that you made a profit?
Indeed. Though I am a bit curious, if you could indulge me to a few inquiries.
I'm in a good mood.
What'd he say?
He said, I'm in a good mood. They kind of waves you along.
Ah, perfect. I am Crass, of the company the Sons of Silas. I throw my lot in with the gavels nowadays, though I can't help but notice your men and the gavels speak with such revelry, but the way you look at them, and them the way they look at you, something has happened. Is it, in your mind, repairable? Could it be made amends?
Why would I need to? I stuck my hand out to them multiple times in friendship. I'm sure if you wish to, Wisteria, I know, keeps impeccable notes. I'm sure she has the reason for our falling out, as well as their repeated abuses against me when I've been nothing but a friend to them. Yeah, you should be prepared for that as well, Crash. Not a good mind for business, that group.
Well, they are of an honorable sort, and I don't doubt you would have had quite an honorable jobs for them. No mark against you, of course. You're just trying to turn a profit. Though, if anyone sticks out into my mind which could have been a true vector of what was the thorn in your side, the thing that might have caused the Gavels to rebel against your gracious offerings of peace, there would be that mockery, the mutt of Cordinia that now has fled the Gavels. Perhaps this can be a turn of a new leaf.
Why you keep saying a new leaf? Why do I want a new leaf? I've tried to partner with them with and without that mockery there. They're not people that you can depend upon when you provide them with information. To at least give you a heads up before they screw you over.
I'll look into that particular one right there.
I've got my adamantium renegades. I mean, they're more predictable than the Gavels, a little bit more expensive than the Gavels, but they don't have conflicting, highfalutin moral philosophies that can turn on a dime. They're consistent. They like gold. I've got gold. We work well together.
So be it. I simply thought to see what the issue was. And I just believe that they are a more profitable sort nowadays. And will lead to, if you were to ally with them with all things going on now, with even the idea of land promised to them here in Kata, the synergy that could be made between you and them, Kata, Daria, even, in these coming years.
Do you have a deal you're pitching to me? Because we have
More
our own deals with the Baron. And as I said, they screwed me over. No heads up. No apology, even. The next time we saw each other, the beast threatened me for literally no reason. I don't know why I'd want to get back into bed with them.
That's entirely fair. Again, just seeing if the door was open. And he stops for a second, like, looks to him like, "Oh, you meant mockery. I thought you were speaking of Bear for a second."
Oh, no, I like Bear.
I do too.
Who doesn't like Bear? No, I was speaking of the Hellhound.
Yes. Just then you out of the... Aside from that, I'll let you get back to your revelry, and I'll do my homework on your past relations. If I have any updates, I'll bring it to you.
If you do have a pitch, I never turn down profit. You don't have to like the people you make a deal with, but I will enforce a contract next time we do business. Didn't I get the non-disclosure agreement last time I dealt with them, and it did not end well for either of us. Ask him how the Queen of Cordinia feels about them.
Crash just stifles a chuckle and then realizes and turns his head. They took a bullet for you, eh? And by screwing you over, they took the blame away from you onto them. Quite ironic, really.
From a certain point of view, I guess, but their pockets were full, my pockets were empty. Not a good way to do business.
Perhaps it's the hindsight. I bid you an adieu, Velnu.
Good fortune to you. Will, Wisteria, how do you two spend the rest of your night?
Will is immediately gonna start go back into public relations mode. I have recently realized I have a downtime activity called influence rumor, and I intend to make good use of it from now on. So I think that he's just gonna be just mingling, but just with whoever will talk to him, really, and just like trying to be like spread the idea of like the story of what happened to here at this party tonight, and just really emphasize like, wow, the crazy giant came in and started making all kinds of wild accusations, and then, well, it seems the gods proved it that he didn't have the truth at his side. So crazy how that happened. Wow.
Where you were able to definitely converse with a number of guests, kind of spreading through the version of events there.
Wisteria will take a seat at the bar, order a glass of wine, and then pull out some paper, start making some notes, and maybe sees Crash walk by, and not knowing his previous conversation, kind of wave him over, say, "Hey, Crash, I could use your help with something."
Oh, what do you require?
And you see she's got all these papers spread out, and they're kind of like ledgers. And so it says, so the Baron has promised us 7,500 gold pieces. And so we need to figure out how to optimally spend that wealth to maximize our efforts when we head towards Kata. I was hoping I could get your opinion on what sort of purchases to make. And she'll start going over, like, there's different, like, notes about different types of runes and potions and objects and stuff, as well as notes about, like, upgrades for the ship. And she's just going to spend the evening doing what her favorite thing is, which is organizing and planning. And if Crash is interested in helping out with that, he seems like he has a skill for economics, but if he gets bored by it, then he's free to...
I'd say he actually would. He would join in on this, kind of looking over, trying to optimize, and you kind of pick out that one of the things he's very oriented in is, well, the weaponry, bigger guns. He would, on several occasions, talk about, oh yeah, improving weapons, but more so for the faction rather than the Gavel officers. More cannons, more guns, more swords, more men on the battlefield.
Yeah, so just as there's like bands playing and people playing drinking games and celebrations going on, they're just heads down in the finances of the animal.
Perfect. You guys dive into the finances, look through how best to utilize your newly gained gold in pursuit, both the Gavel's fortunes as well as the War for Kata. And you guys have like everybody spends it a little bit differently between Will kind of getting the Gavel story out there, Jeet and Belric sharing a beer, more than a few beers, with the Adamantium Renegades, Crash Wisteria working on the finances. You all ride out this gala where you've been wildly successful, dealing a heavy blow to the forces of Taish, bringing on allies, bringing on resources to aid your mission. And you guys have heard the success. You see that the drinking goes on, the music continues to blare, occasionally with Ezen, the fabled Songblade, giving his own renditions, but it is a good night. You feel celebration, you feel hope, you feel the edge of triumph in the air as you all spend the rest of your night in revelry. You all are also provided kind of rooms within the kind of the King's Keep for the night, and then will be kind of instructed, or well, not instructed, but requested to return back to the war camp in the morning But we're going to take a quick break here. Take about 5 minutes. I know we're a little bit late today. I want to hit in downtime as well as kind of what happens at night or what happens while you sleep that night today as well. So come back 8:41. We'll hit the last little bit and get everything ready for our next session. See you guys in a bit.
What do you mean while we're asleep?
Yeah, I was going to say, surely something good, right? A pleasant surprise in the night.
Yeah, actually, it could be pleasant. But you guys will find out in a minute.
Pleasant for the players. I should have been clearer.
Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of session 7. The group has just had a very successful gala. They brought on allies. They've made a good impression for the gavels. People are happy to see them. Far cry from some of their time in Eteria, but they are able. They came in strong for the Baron and the people of Kata. And after kind of a night of revelry, a night of celebration, or finances, which I feel like are going through accounting and finances, which can be Wisteria's form of celebration. The group was able to turn in. I'm going to kind of put this as an open question to the group. What is the group? Each person answer individually. But when you sleep, does your PC typically dream? And if so, what do they usually dream of?
I think it's not uncommon for Wisteria's night to involve dreams of showing up at school, realizing you're still in your pajamas, you didn't do the homework that was due. Every one of those little like nightmares of suddenly you're like, everything you were supposed to prepare for, you didn't prepare for. Also, she's been out of school for like probably a year now. But when you're dreaming, you don't realize that.
Nice. We'll address that in a second. But what does everybody else dream of?
Oh, now I know what's going on at night. Okay, so the good dreams are about just communal events from his rural times, and the bad dreams involve fire going out of control. Like someone or something is burning, probably like someone or something that's relevant here. So if he's having a bad dream right now, he's like imagining Kata that's burning and it's just burning out of control.
All right.
Like that. Along those lines, like there's going to be a stupor, right? Like a drunken stupor that there's no dreaming that happens. But the good dreams are going to be like nature, like hunting, foraging, finding the perfect herbs. The bad dreams are going to be kind of back to Dosen and what he experienced, what Balric experienced in the mountains, and like what he thinks it is like with Ark around, which he hasn't been back to, but like just working the mines, working on the mountains, and then like the influence that Ark has over there.
Nice. Will, what do you dream of?
This is an interesting question because I have another entity that lives in my head.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to sleep, I don't think. I think Will's sort of... I think when he does have dreams, I don't think it's all the time. Sometimes I think, he maybe just like sleeps like a normal person, but like sometimes there will be dreams of just like it's just it's like just like light and songs. It's like he has an angel living in his head, so it's probably just a lot of like endless praise of light, that kind of thing.
Perfect. I got real big Lion King vibes for that. I don't know why. Like, with the Lion King.
Lion sleeps tonight
Yeah, there we go.
in the jungle.
Perfect. So Will's got the hymns of light in his head, and Crash powers down, but he doesn't. What does Crash feel when he powers down?
Yeah, he does power down. Like, would he actually dream when he powers down?
I'll let you make the call.
I'd say for Crash in particular, he's one of the Warforged who do dream, and it's usually not a good dream. Probably one of two things. Either it's a frozen plains just on fire, with him just standing in the midst of like a ring of it, listening to it crackle, or just him sitting in stark silence, nothing else, just a void, just no noise, not even the hum from within himself. Just stuck there, unable to really move or get out.
I do also want to add, occasionally, this is rare, but it does happen. Every once in a while, Will has a dream that is literally doom. just insane metal music, wearing holy vestments, and just cleaving through demons with his holy blade.
So we have the answer. Will can run Doom.
Perfect. Well, as you all sleep through Wisteria, as you make your way, kind of going through, finding that test that you just haven't studied for, unprepared, you're in your pajamas, none of your gear along with you, Whisper not at your side, just kind of alone, unprepared, and not knowing kind of what the future holds. You look at that test and you see the answers look complicated. And then for a moment, you see the words change. And you see the word prophecy written out. And then you're pulled deeper into your dream. Belric, you're out hunting. For a moment, you're just kind of out in the plains hunting Bear and Red alongside you, taking down great beast, having kind of a good old time. Probably beer in hand as you go through the forest, just living your best life in nature. But eventually, you track a beast into a cave, and the cave just keeps descending and descending until it feels like almost like you're back in the mines of Dosa. And you see like almost kind of like etched into the wall by repeated pickaxe, favors owed, favors returned. Will you kind of like, it's not one of the doom nights. This is one of the nights where you just hear that hymn of light going through the but it's repeatedly broken. That hymn of light by the call of a bird. You hear like this melodic bird call. Almost, it feels like it's nearly synced up. It was one of those ones like it's like just near being the melody of the hymn of light, but almost intentionally off a bit. Like it's worse with how close it is to the hymn of light, how easily it could be on melody, this call, but almost intentionally not makes it stand out more. But you hear this call of a dove just kind of repeatedly just breaking through the hymn of light. And Jeet, as you're going through, you kind of see some of your memories of the rural villages, the games, the celebrations you played, especially after a night of celebrations too, within the Festian court. It almost enhances this as you go through and see some of the old games and old kind of the old joys they used to have. But as you look down, you see across, kind of flying across the sky, the shadow darkening the ground of what looks to be a bird, kind of flying through. And as it flies through, you see fire kind of follows behind it, almost wiping the dream away and pulling you in deeper. And Crash, this is one of the days you're in the void, where it's just darkness as you power down and get your rest, recharge, kind of ready yourself for the day. The one thing that you see, kind of flittering through this void, you see a citrine dove fly across, back and forth, until it eventually flies directly towards your face, and just the moment where it collide with you, you almost feel it pull you in to something deeper. And as you guys are all pulled in from your respective dreams, pulled out of your slumber, pulled into this plane, you look around you see stars above, below, all around. You see your bodies have almost a spectral image, and all of you with connections to your bodies with a spectral, almost hazy, ghost-like image. You see a cord connecting you and just darting off into the ether. And you see flying around you all a citrine dove that eventually sits in the middle of you all and looks at you all expectantly. What do you do?
No, this test was supposed to be next week. I thought I had another week to. Oh, wait. What, are y'all taking the test too? Please tell me somebody has some notes I can prepare for. We have at least a few more minutes.
Crash's immediate reaction was to quick draw, and it'd probably be a gun with no bullets in it. Just a quick draw, click, click, click.
You see bubbles emerging from their gun.
Is this
Alright.
dove like a symbol we would recognize? I'm in my head. I'm like vaguely remembering like a citrine dove.
Power.
That's power.
All right. And we would, yeah, our characters would probably know that. If I can remember it, then surely Will can.
Way back when, we had some interesting dealings with Paula, where she gave us some power.
Yeah.
But I think Tegan's gonna get into the rest here.
Will like looks over. You know what? I think in the dream realm, y'all can probably see just like you've seen Rashaniel's like ghostly form before. She's just like standing right behind him in this sort of dream realm. Just like her head is like right here behind him, except it's just light, so you can't really see her. And she like makes Will bow before the symbol of power.
Yeah, and Jeet will bow as well, recognizing her.
You see after the bows, the dove morphs itself into a woman. You see she has dark flowing hair, her eyes starry, like just black with deep stars across them, flicking through with occasional moments of wild power. You see she looks upon you with kind of this flowing red dress that almost seems to reshape itself like smoke as she moves. And she goes, "Gavels of Avasar, welcome to my corner of the astral plane. I told you once that I sensed greatness in you all, and I feel you all can sense it in yourselves now. How does your mortal life treat you?"
A lot better now since Shinzo Z's gone from us.
You know how mortal life is. It has its ups and downs.
I saw that deception god utilize the shadow of my symbol to trick you. I considered intervening, but I saved your lives, and no offering of thanks, no sacrifices in my name, no tribute to the goddess. I figured you'd learn a lesson dealing with that unhinged god.
There's another, like, probably, like, cutting whatever silence is followed by that. There's another, like, click, 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 as Crash just goes,
There's this
give it another shot. And he gently sets the gun down.
The camera looks to like.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Oh, go ahead.
looks to Jeet's eyes, and Jeet's like looking towards the clicking sound, but then talking to the goddess Power. We did not mean any offense. We remain in your debt, and should you find a way to make use of us, we are at your disposal, other than the fact that we are currently bound by a blood oath.
This is why you are my favorite of those. You cleave right to the issue. You acknowledge the debt. This is perfect. And can you tell the Metal One his guns won't work? And Metal One, you are in the presence of a goddess. What do you think your two-shooter is going to do?
In truth, practically nothing. But I'm sorry, I'm still trying to figure out if you're real.
Ooh. Just because a thing is a dream does not make it unreal. I am the goddess of prophecy and dreams. Every dream I give to you is a gift or a curse, depending on what your worth is. Never consider them real or unreal. They are all messages worth considering.
So, to me, right, you must understand if you're not the goddess Power and you're just some conjuration of my subconscious, it's, dream about shooting a god. It worked, but if it didn't work, that'd prove that, fuck.
Well, if she is merely a projection of our subconsciouses, we're still perceiving it, her, and because it's something that we're perceiving, it must be real in some sense.
Cleaving right to the truth, Mysteria.
I apologize, and I will not. He pauses for a moment, like he's trying to think, like, is there any scenario where I shoot you again? No, I promise I will not shoot you again.
Well, it's always interesting with the new ones. The conversation with Mockery went much smoother. But
He actually looks insulted by that one. He looks up, from like humbly lowering his head to like, really?
And is he where you expected him to go?
the future has many paths, and you chose a path that surprised me but was not unexpected. He follows the path of Shinzo Z. I do not like spoiling the future for those, but you know the god, you know who that infernal lord of chaos and deception brings. The hellhound has been swallowed whole by deception. He deceives even himself now. As I told you when I first met you, you all will do great things, but great does not mean good. Great means impactful, tremendous deeds that could be good and wholly inspiring or terrible and destructive. He walks the path of the latter. But that is not why I brought you here today to talk of the one that is lost. As Jeet said, you are in my debt, and I've come to collect. Or to at least buy your oath to collect. You've probably heard of the usurper causing trouble in my realm. A day soon in the future, within this month, I am going to make a push. I would like your assistance. I know you are bound to Kata. This would merely take a night of your time. And I'll bring you to this realm. In this realm, time flows a bit more freely. Not a minute here could be an hour there, an hour here could be a minute there. It flows as the Lord's wish it to do. And I'd like you to help me in removing one of the barriers that Zexus has brought up with his children of Mialo, the that corruption of minds, the assembly centipede of interlocking minds of mortals to Zexus creates these weird fortresses in the astral plane. And I'd like you to break one of those fortresses at the time of my choosing to pay the debt. Because there were many futures where I did not bring Belric to you, where you would have been swarmed by those undead, where the Arisen would have added you to their number. But luckily, in my mercy, I intervened. I brought Belric from his brother's side to your side. I unlocked your souls to power that you did not know was there. And I come to claim that favor. Let's see.
Lady Power, you have already shown me the vision that led me to realize that my sister has been embroiled in Zexus's plots. This, what you are talking about, it will be a push against Zexus's plans, and he turns to the others. As long as it doesn't interfere with the Cotton war efforts, I hope you all will join me, but even if you don't, this is something I must do for my sister.
If you're successful in defeating Zexus, will all of his gathered knowledge be lost?
He looks and goes, lost but not lost, if you understand my drift. There's a relic within the astral plane called the Well of Lost Memories. Information that is lost, that was not told to anyone, where the user or where the last person who knows it dies, the information goes to the well. And those with a strong enough will to dip their head into the well and come out sane are able to view those lost memories and learn from them. So, yes and no.
What would it take to? I mean, Wisteria is like this. This is everything she could have dreamed of, is getting access to something like that. So she's like, what would it take to get access to that? She'll ask Paolo directly.
Well, I would say Zexus's death, or at least abandonment of the astral plane. He would say my death, or abandonment of the astral plane. The well has been our most contested war point within the astral plane because of its power and its knowledge. We've each fought and lost, trying to defend the well. So peace or one of our deaths?
Then I'd be happy to endeavor to make it Zexus's death rather than yours. That grants me what I desire.
Do we give you... Oh, go ahead, Will.
I was just going to say, Will's answer is simple. We are at your command, O great goddess.
You see Power gives a nod of respect to Rashadiel. And she goes, well, this was the easier future path. I expected a bit more resistance. I give you 2 boons, because I have your pledge that you will come to my aid the night that I require, as long as I do not interfere with your war. Do I not?
You have my pledge.
You have my pledge.
Does anybody not pledge? What do you think of that?
Let's speak up.
So, if we were to kill Zexus by chance, and for you, that comes with quite a bit of consequence. Surely the gods would see us as a bit of a upstart. What I'm saying is, what assurances would we have, especially anyone new to this organization, kind of looks around for a second, would have that if we were to do this for you, that the repercussions for it would not be, let's use the word damning.
You see, she laughs, like belly laughs. She goes, "Oh, I'm not sending you against Zexus. I have not been able to defeat Zexus. That. It has been eons since I've laughed so well. No, you will be going after a fortress, of something fitting for your power and station. The Zexus, a man fused with a god, fused with an ego the size of a mountain. He is a problem for another day, not for you lot, at least as you stand now. But what I will say is, most of the gods at this point can't stand Zexus. He does not have allies. So I don't think you will earn damnation from them. But if you do attack this fortress with me, you will be choosing a side. My side. So you may earn his wrath. But from what I can see, even without me intervening, there are many futures where Jeet pursues his sister and earns that wrath on his own. He's already made himself known to Zexus. Dark, what do you think of the video? Oh, there you go.
I would interject. I would just say, my lady, and I would be kind of knelt down in respect, but I would say I am, dedicated to Hura, goddess of nature, and I'm dedicated to the gavel and everyone here. I can't make that same request, but I'll follow my teammates.
I do not need your fealty, just your pledge that you'll come that day that I call you, and after that, we could be considered even, or we can continue working together. As I said, I sense greatness in your future, and I'd like to cultivate those who can be great. But it seems like you all wish to proceed. You've got your pledge, your willingness to at least follow your team, if not me. And I offer you two boons. The first is I can unlock your soul to even greater power than I did the last, unleashing more than what you thought possible, or even more than your organizations that you brought with, or that you've joined with, were able to unlock. I will give you that boon. But also, and this one will add additional favor to our dealings. There's one of your enemies that you have made, and you have made many enemies, that is going to assault you on the day of reclamation. They're not part of the giant forces, but they will disrupt or aid the giant, and disrupt your efforts and aid the giants on Reclamation Day, adding to the fight that you'll need to overcome. The warning of itself is a boon. But as I said, if you will once again go into my debt, I will let you know who this is and where they'll be the night before Reclamation Day, so you can hopefully kill them before they can act against you. What say you? You're on mute, was there?
I don't know if she would say this out loud, but Wisteria is kind of thinking that she's always suspicious about going even further into debt if not necessary, and she thinks we can maybe figure it out on our own. But it might be difficult depending on who it is. If we don't go into debt here, I'll probably be spending my downtime like trying to do research, finding out who that might be.
Can I time out and say, like, how are we in debt to Power now, if at all? And then, like, what debt are we getting ourselves into? Is that fair to ask?
Basically, by saying our debt prior was the powers we gained. By saying that we're going to do this, we're doing that favor and getting rid of
We
that
get
debt.
the 2 boons by. Okay.
Yeah, and this extra boon we can get puts us back into debt.
Okay. I have no interest in being. Ulrich would just like turn to the team. Like, I have no interest in being in debt to further debt. After the experiences we just had with Shinzo, while I understand Pao is no Shinzo, we have enough enemies and we have enough burdens right now.
Will sort of like look. He turns around, looks at Rashanael for a second, and like tries to phrase this very carefully. I personally do not wish to be indebted to such a great being, because to impose upon the power of a goddess unnecessarily is a hubris to the greatest degree. I believe we can handle this on our own. Internally, Will's like, I'm so tired of being in debt to gods.
That was really well spoken.
Yeah. So with that, Wisteria will speak up and say, I agree. I think we have the contacts and resources necessary to determine this out. To determine this on our own. I greatly appreciate the warning. But more debt taking on now is not something I feel would be in the Gala's best interest.
Power the Great, the goddess, the Great. If you want us to be effective, it feels like this is information that you shouldn't hold ransom.
If they kill us, then we can't help you
if we are destroyed, or if we're killed prior to this, then we'll be of no use to you in the ultimate goal of yours, where we're helping you with Sexus. So,
if you are killed before the time comes, then you are not strong enough to help me with Zexus, and my visions of the future were wrong. But, as I said, I will not force you, I will not use my divine might to make you cow to my way. I mean, as I said, you've got many enemies, from shadow demons to dragons in the sky.
What help would you give us?
Oh, I would tell you who's coming after you, where they'll be the night before Reclamation Day. And I'll help. I'll even teleport you to them that night so you can kill them before they try to kill you.
Powwow, good powwow.
It's a special kind of like just for the group to go into a level.
Well, I think we have enough information, and we're not just 5 people. We've got a group with us that.
I know your histories. I understand your trepidation. But this might put us on the path of.
And I have my camera off, but when the cameo, I turned my head like fully in character as Kraz, like, what the fuck was that? So Kraz looks off for a second, like, what the fuck? And then looks back, shaking his head.
This could put us on the path of ending the god, Zexus in particular. Now, I don't mean to sound like a blasphemer or anything like that, but that would be one hell of a hunt. And again, I'm not much into politics, but in recent years I know he has quite garnered the great amount of I don't know how to call that from. He's really strange now. He's more like a cult.
I mean, if paying off this new debt to her is just another attack against Exorcist forces, I think that brings me and Jeet closer to things that we're interested in anyway, so it's not really much of a debt.
Yeah, but that's what she call upon. I don't really know Miss Goddess all too well.
What if we can convince her to agree that, we will pay off the debt as long as it involves working against Exodus?
I mean, I think
that.
if the debt's known up front, I mean, I feel like that could be something we could that I would consider more so than some of these open-ended debts that we've had with Shinzo in the past, where.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned that she'll have us do anything untoward or something we can't handle. My primary concern is that it might come at a bad time, and we might be forced to abandon something else we want to be doing in order to do whatever it is she wants us to do. That's my only concern.
I mean, it does seem like time is the thing that she has some measure of control over. She's asking us to help out in the middle of our effort to retake Kata, but has done so in a way that it won't impact that at all.
I suppose you're right.
I won't be in debt to anyone but Hira. Like I said, I will join you guys. I will join you guys in your endeavors. I won't vouch. I won't dedicate myself. Last time we dedicated ourselves to Paua, I'll turn to Will and Wisteria. Literally, that was the last time we dedicated ourselves to Paua, right? That was Paua's voice?
It sounded like Paua.
Okay. We're in a dream, all right? So I'm just saying, like, I ain't doing this shit.
I will say something I was planning on bringing up in the next couple of days, but I think now seems as good a time as any. Given our past history, I think we should add a new bylaw to the Gavel, which is that the membership and leadership of the Gavel cannot enter into any agreements without or contracts without unanimous consent of the entire leadership.
Seems reasonable. I'd like to at least have a little time to think about it and get back to you in the morning.
I mean, certainly such a law would not come into effect for any decisions made tonight, but just something I wanted to mention has been on my mind.
All right.
You hear Powell clear it throat and go, wasting a goddess's time is a crime in itself. What say you? Will you take my knowledge, or will you let fate roll its dice?
It seems to me that the general idea is that we will allow fate to play out the way that it must, at least in this case. We appreciate all that you've done for us, but I think we wouldn't dare impose upon you and ask for even more.
You see, she looks out and goes, so be it. It'll be interesting to see which of your enemies strike at you, whether it be the High Prince, the Queen, the dragons, the demon, the Hellhound. You have so many enemies. But we'll watch with good and great interest, and hopefully the futures where you prove to be strong, prove to be true. Be that as it may, I did promise you another boon. You kind of see she reaches out into you, and you feel energy kind of just ramping through you, and you do feel newfound power come through. And basically, I'll be posting in your threads different choices for a major soul relic, soul seed, that you guys will be able to get. You're going to be able to pick one of the two choices there, and then let me know which one you go with, and we'll debut them next session and see kind of how that works out for the crew. But she unlocks that power within you, and she goes, "You have newfound strength. With this, and with your eventual assault against the fortress, we will be even. But now, go back, continue your fight for Kata, and may fortune smile upon you, and may you survive the enemy that is coming." And you see her wave her hands, and you all are thrust back into whatever dream you came from before. And outside of that, the night passes without any other disturbances.
Rashanael chastises Will for not being respectful enough.
Everybody in class is pointing at me and laughing at me for wearing my pajamas.
Crush doesn't go to bed after that. I imagine he just wakes up and just sits there like, damn, like his like base nature was, okay, gun, double check that it works. Can I shoot the god? And he's really breaking that down in his head, like, why did I do that? Would I do that again? Sorry, let me do that in his voice. Why did I do that? Would I do it again? Maybe. Do I need therapy? No. It's just,
No, obviously, I'm perfect.
like, no. It's the dream that was wrong. Sorry, that was a reference to The Simpsons. Like, oh, yeah. No, it's the children that are wrong. Just keeps applying the baby giggle.
Perfect. That you guys wake up with the newfound power, a little bit richer as well. Is there anything that you all do kind of that next day before sailing home or sailing back to the war camp?
I think Wisari's just going to spend the whole trip on the ship blabbering about how important it is to her that she gets access to this relic of lost memories. Probably pointing out that, like, I've always hated when we have to kill people because I just can't help but think of all the thoughts in their heads that are lost forever. But to find out that they're not, that they're out there somewhere. It must even have memories from people from thousands of years ago. Imagine what their lives must have been like, what they would have known. I can't wait to find out.
I wonder if your love for mockery is somewhere in that well.
I think before they leave, Will one more time goes back to see the beacon and just... I don't even know really what he's going to say. Just say one last goodbye to her, kiss the back of her hand, and thank her for her assistance in the war effort.
She'll graciously go, "We appreciate adding the Templars to Kata's effort to retake its land from the children of Taish. Keeping these lowborn beasts away from Huna by the might of our Templars, keeping them away from Fessi as a whole, is a cause worthy of Hikari and her light." And you gotta graciously accept and as you make your way back to the ship. Yeah, you guys eventually are able to reboard the balancing act begin kind of the short sail across the bay, moving from Jacinta and 5-hour sail back to the king of Jacinta's once personal island, now war camp for the Baron of Kata. And as you guys kind of sail through, clear skies, sun shining down upon the balancing act, lightning arcing off the scales of your newfound ship. But you see, too, the water continues to have that weird hiss and bubble as it kind of washes across the hull and scales of your ship. But no resistance, no trouble as you make your way back to the war camp. And that's where we're going to wrap up today. Next session, we will get into the downtime. You guys will have 2 weeks, and then kind of everything preparing for the reclamation arc. As you guys try to take the speeches of Kata and kind of begin the first step to hopefully liberating the land from the giants. So yeah, everybody join us next week. We'll see how that goes for the crew. And then for the crew, I'll give you guys options for your soul relics. Let me know what you decide. You've got 10,000 gold. There's a chance when you get into it, there's another chance to earn some more gold, which we'll kind of start next session with as well. And you guys have things to buy. So let me know. Kind of think about what you want to buy ahead of time. We'll go through and get that all sorted. So